What's up, Houston? This is a criminal defense attorney, Cory Roth. I've got a practice based here in Harris County, but I'll go anywhere in the state. Right now, it's Friday, January 6, 2023, the end of the first week of the year. I was hoping to be sharing with you the results of a DWI second trial for a young client of mine, but unfortunately, the lab analyst was forced to resign from her job at the county crime lab because she and a bunch of her BFFs at work started their own consulting company out of the county lab, apparently, from what I understand, which seems not only a fireable offense, but probably a crime to use county resources and equipment for private, personal, non-public gain. But hey, what do I know? So instead of talking about that and some other issues that I'll be sharing with you regarding some traffic laws, I'm going to title the series Wouldn't You Know, or Can You Believe? Something along those lines. I decided I'd recap some of my bigger victories from last year. Of course, there was the trial, the assault family violence trial in Harris County Criminal Court 15 that we tried in the emergency response docket in front of Judge Natalie Fleming, where my client was alleged to have elbowed his daughter, given her a bloody lip in front of his daughter's husband. At the end of that trial, the jury returned a not guilty verdict in like 22 minutes or something like that, if I remember correctly. I might be way off. But they all said, why in the hell did you charge this guy? Why did you bring this case to trial? To the prosecutor, not to me, because my client was found not guilty. As have all my other clients to date in assault family member trials, and virtually every trial where I've been the first chair. And by first chair, I mean I'm the one in charge. It's my client from the get-go. I'm the lawyer doing the vast majority of the work and making the major decisions on the case. There was something of a low where I lost with co-counsel a trial in Bell County, Texas, aggravated kidnapping, where there was absolutely reasonable doubt, but that jury didn't care. We just got a really terrible jury, and there's some things we could have done better, but that I could have done better. But I learned from those mistakes, and that's what 2022, 2021, every year in the past should be about. In part, is learning from your mistakes, your failures. And as an attorney, it's called the practice of law. So you're always practicing, you're always trying to get better. But the good news on that is our client, despite being convicted of aggravated kidnapping, he didn't want to appeal the case. Even though we felt that we would win, I made a serious, very good record for appeal. But he didn't want to do that. He decided to accept his 10-year sentence because he had already served 6 years. And within about 2 or 3 months of his sentence, he was released on parole to finally go back home and raise his children. A lot of DWI dismissals, theft dismissals. I'm looking at some of my cases right now. Felon in possession of a weapon. Good old-fashioned cat fight, dismissed on the day of trial. With some pretty nasty injuries for being a misdemeanor. I'm talking about gashes across the forehead, busted lips. Another cat fight, not such bad injuries, but completely captured on camera, so that's always fun. Another thing I was hoping to report today would be a no bill on an aggravated assault deadly weapon where 2 strippers claim my client pulled a gun on them. But the grand jury is not meeting until next week, so hopefully I'll be able to report that. A lot of great results. Continuous family violence, where the previous prosecutor had offered 25 years on a 25-year to life case. That was dismissed a couple days before trial. Thank you to a very good prosecutor for listening to me and giving me some time to do what needs to be done. Client EP, that case, DWI, they couldn't put him behind the wheel. Let's see. A lot of thefts, harassments, assaults. An aggravated assault. I had a client allegedly, or maybe actually, I don't remember, shoot at the complainant. Some good investigation was done. We received the security video from the grocery store showing that it was in fact the complainant that had a gun. That case was no-billed by the grand jury. I had one case where the prosecutor laughed at me when I asked him to hold a case from presenting it to the grand jury. Ultimately, that prosecutor left the county, and the case was no-billed without me even actually doing a grand jury packet. A no-bill means the case was dismissed. Of course, my biggest no-bill, proudest victory of the year, was a client in a high-profile case that resulted in 1 death and 3 people total being life-flighted in an after-school fight in Katy. That client was no-billed times 3, meaning all 3 of his aggravated assault, deadly weapon cases were dismissed, and he was not charged with murder, even though his action did contribute to the complainant's death. It was clear after my very, very, very thorough investigation, I'm talking about putting in 100, 150 hours in a month, that my client acted in self-defense. That's the type of lawyer I am. I'm going to do more than law enforcement. I'm going to do more than a detective. If it's not appropriate for me to be the one to do it, I'm going to get an investigator to do it. That's at my client's expense, but it's sometimes something that needs to be done. I had a case dismissed trial day in November. Aggravated assault with a deadly or aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury, where my client was alleged to have pushed his wife, and she smashed her head open on a dresser on the way down, was in a coma, really terrible injury. That case was dismissed on trial day, or a couple days before trial. I had sexual assault, where a client met a girl at a bar, and the girl took him back to her place, had sex that she came to regret, drove him home, and a couple weeks later decided to call it rape. That case was also dismissed. So I've been rambling for 7-8 minutes now, talking about some of the victories from last year, 2022, but I hope 2023 is going to bring more. I think it is. Apparently, it's the year of the rabbit, and I was born in the year of the rabbit, 1987, having entered year 10 of practice. I've been recognized as a super lawyer rising star. I've gotten a lot of incredible results. I have hundreds of very, very, very happy clients, some of whom have written me very nice reviews. But my favorite review of all was my client who wrote, hopefully I can find it, wrote something very nice about me. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It not only made my day, but it made my year. This man is a young Dick DeGuerin, a modern-day Percy Foreman. From the minute he walks in the courtroom, Michael Jackson's hit song Beat It should begin to play, because that's what he does with cases. This was a guy who'd fallen on some hard times. His whole life has been hard times, and he never had a case dismissed. And that's what it meant to him. It meant a lot. It meant a lot for him to be listened to and heard, and to be vindicated of guilt and blame. If you need anything, call me, 832-819-5290. My website is attorneyroth.com. That's ROTH. I look forward to hopefully being consistent this year and putting more of these videos on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. And be on the lookout for the series. Probably going to do it on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll post it on YouTube, of videos about statutes and traffic laws in particular. Hopefully everybody has a happy, prosperous, and most importantly, healthy 2023. See you next time.